Hey everyone, I'm Will, and today I'm going to show you how to make the perfect white pine tea. But before that, remember to like, subscribe, and comment down below, and don't forget to press that notification bell down below. To make the perfect white pine tea, you got to get outside into the woods. Right now I'm in a little marsh area, so you want to go in towards the woods. Right here, the biggest trees that you see are white pine trees, but those ones don't have low enough branches to get the white pine tips of what we're looking for. But usually when there's big trees like that, they're going to drop a lot of seeds, and there's going to be younger trees right around them. So let's go deeper into the woods and find those younger trees to make the perfect tea. Now, when you have found a younger white pine tree, this is still a older white pine right here, but on the really old white pine trees, they're so big that the branches that were all the tips that we're going for, they're way too high up in the tree to harvest any of the young tips for the tea, because that's what we're going for, the young tips. So when they're a little bit younger, where the branches are still just a little bit in reach, we can harvest those tips. So let's head closer to basically my little log cabin woodshed. There's a branch just above it that we can harvest some tips. When you actually see the tips and stuff, you don't want to just get the needles. A lot of people say leave the whole branch kind of thing as of sticking in the tea. What we're going to be going for is the cortex, where the xylem and phloem, where all the nutrients is flowing through the plant. So we're going to be just going with the young branches, because that's where all of the energy is going to from the plant, because that's what's getting growth as of right now as the newest growth. So it's really easy to harvest these. You're going to be looking for just the bundles, and when it's just past to where the needles are, you want to see where all the needles stop. You want to basically go right there and twist and pull, and snaps right off, nice and simple, easy. And this is your little bundle. You want to harvest about a half a handful, about, let's say, no more than 5. You want about really 5 to 10 of these bundles, and we are going to discard the needles and keep the little branches. So I got the bunch of needles. So next what we're going to be doing is taking the needles off, and I'm going to show you a quick way to actually get all the needles off without just picking one by one of the needles off. So a simple point of harvesting, you don't want to basically go picking each needle off. Find where the bud is, grab the bud, and then take your fingers, your pointer finger, your middle finger, and your thumb, make a triangle section, and just grip the center of the branch and pull the needles right off. Real quick, the needles come off. We don't really need that part, and you can strip off, just yank off those, and then you're left with a bare branch. And inside, I'm going to show you how to take this part of the branch off to get to the cortex. So it's real simple. I'm going to show you again. Find that bud, pull, pinch, pull right off. And you want to pull from, this is the tip, you want to pull opposite. So all the needles are growing this way, so you don't want to pull that way. They'll still come off, but not as good. You want to pull basically away from where the bud is. So pulls right off, good and easy. So next up, we're going to go inside, and I'm going to show you how to take the cortex off of these little branches. So now we're inside. I have all of the little branch tips right here. So I'm going to show you a close-up of how to actually take the outer bark and peel it off that we can add to the cup, and then add some hot water, let it steep for a few minutes, and you have a delicious vitamin C boost. What we're going to be doing is exactly just taking the outer bark of, like, take your fingernail and just go down it a little bit, and just take the wood, basically expose it. So that's the center. We don't want that. We want the, basically the cortex and like the outer bark, and you want to like peel that right off. So use your fingernails or your thumbnail, you can use that, and it's basically just rip it right off. And that's where you want to get the most amount of surface area that you can. And then this part, because I'm smelling it, it has a lot of sugars in that still from the bark. So you want to plop that right in, but break it up for a surface area. We're looking for the most amount of surface area to use. And you could use this whole bunch. If you wanted a strong flavor, that's what I'm looking for. Like a very sweet, kind of antiseptic kind of flavor, is use like 5 to 10. But if you're looking for a very mellow kind of flavor, go about like 2 or 3 of these little branches, the branch tips. Now after you split up all the bark and the little branches and you put them in, next up you're going to want to add some water. You don't want to add boiling hot water. If you add boiling hot water, it will release more of the medicinal stuff. That'd be good, but it will also, with the medicinal stuff, it will be more of the bitters. You don't want to add too much of the bitters. We're going to make a delicious, sweet tasting pine needle tea. And you want to just add that right in. Hot water, not boiling hot. Add it right in. About a half of it. About like half cup to a cup you're looking for. And let this sit for about 5 to 10 minutes. And then you can strain it, or you can be a backwoods rustic person and just drink it while the pieces of the needles are still in there. And I'm going to do a little test smell. And it's already releasing some of the fragrance as of right now. So 5 to 10 minutes of waiting, then taste test. It's been about 10 minutes, and let's look. Well, it has a nice look to it. Nothing really changed the color. I'm going to stir it around just a little bit. That don't spill over the nice barnwood table. And smell test. Ooh. Okay. Time for the taste test, and I'm leaving the barks in a little backwood style. Leave the bark and stuff in it. Very subtle. Tastes good. Very sweet. The sweetness comes out more if you do it this way. If you just take the bundles and just stick them in and you add hot water, you're going to have more of the bitters. But if you take that surface area and increase it, getting the sugars out of the cortex, then you are getting more nutrients and more of that sweetness that you're looking for of a really good tea, instead of adding sugar or maple syrup or any kind of sweetener to the tea, and it's not as healthy. So this is the perfect way to make a white pine tea. I recommend getting outside and getting some fresh air, because first off, fresh air is good and boosting the immune system, but also white pine has 5 times the amount of vitamin C per 100 grams than citrus. So I recommend getting white pine more than getting citrus. So a glass of this per day is basically stronger than eating an orange per day. And if you want to see more, go down in the description below, click the link to my channel, or press the round subscribe button to help me out to get to 10,000 subscribers. And until next time, remember to get outside, get fresh air, and have fun. See ya.